Well, Brian J. Fisher, you'll be glad to know, is out of surgery and doing well and has been advised by his producer, Jeff, not to tweet for a while because of the meds. So if you see any suspicious tweets out there, you can know that it's because Brian is under medication, okay? Don't judge. I am glad to be standing in today for Brian Fisher. My name is Dr. Gina Loudon, and I want to thank you. I am so excited because we have already added 50 signatures to that petition just since I told you to get engaged. If you have not yet signed the petition to free Sergeant Tamarisi from the Mexican prison, you can do so now by going to drginashow.com, or you can also go to my Facebook pages. It is Gina Gentry Loudon. That is my private page, but you can follow me and you can find the link there. And you can also go to my public page, which is Dr. Gina, just Dr. Gina. And we have the link for you there as well. You are already making a difference. And I have to tell you, I'm not even surprised a bit. Not a bit. Because I know y'all and I know your hearts. And that's why I love doing this show. 50 new signatures already. Brian out of surgery. It's a great day here on AFR. Keep them coming, though. Your call is 888-589-8840. What are the answers to all of this? You know, one thing I've noticed between these two topics is the consistent theme of mental health. On the one hand, Sergeant Tamarisi in a Mexican prison with a mental health issue, post-traumatic stress disorder that he needs treatment for, and instead he's being re-traumatized on foreign soil again after he's defended the United States. The United States government is not defending him. It's up to we, the citizens, I guess, to do this. So there's one mental health issue, and I want to ask if he had AIDS or if he wanted a sex change, if you think Obama would be involved. I do. Not kidding. I think he would. I think Obama would be involved if he had AIDS and he was in this Mexican prison, or if he wanted a sex change. I think Obama would be on it. He'd be on it. He'd be doing his duty as commander-in-chief of this sergeant. The other issue is the mental health issue regarding the Santa Barbara shootings. As I've said repeatedly on this show, if we want to say that anyone who's ever had a mental health diagnosis can't get a gun, then you're talking about 50% of the population who has some sort of mental health diagnosis. You're talking about most of our combat veterans will get their guns pulled from them because about 90% of them suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder at some point. And let me tell you another thing. With our new Obamacare, oh yes. Listen, folks, you are so diagnosable you don't even know it. You don't even know it. You say to your doctor, gosh, life's been hard lately. The doctor can write down with a code right there that you're suffering from depression. And guess what? They might just decide to take your guns for that. So what are the answers? You have this guy, son of a Hollywood director. If there's any good to come of this whole thing, with this father out here now saying that we need more gun control, that's certainly not the good to come from it, because more gun control is going to result in more deaths. Don't forget, in Israel, they instituted in their schools that their teachers need to be trained to use a gun. And they haven't had a child death on a school property since 1970 when that policy was instituted. But we, in the United States, we institute these feel-good gun-free zones because we just don't like guns. So we make all these gun-free zones, and we feel good about ourselves. Meanwhile, there are dead children. The blood is on the hands of these people who knowingly fight for more gun control, knowing it's going to result in more deaths. All you have to do is the math. No dead kids in Israel since the gun policy was instituted versus United States, where we have gun-free zones and everybody dies. The Israel TSA policy, so much better than ours, and our TSA policy, a disaster. When government controls things, it doesn't do well. And then you have this boy from Hollywood, this director's son who did these murders. If there's one good thing to take from this situation, this is what I hope it is. And that is that the trappings of Hollywood, all of which this young man had, they aren't what makes you happy. I hope that millennials will get this message because, while they play up the Miley Cyrus and all the other junk you have spewed at you every single day, for millennials to digest and think is, you got to have the right car, you got to have the right clothes, you got to look a certain way, you got to show all your skin, you got to act like a 4-letter word or 5. This man demonstrates that all that, having all that money, having all that success, living that Hollywood lifestyle really isn't where it's at. You know where it's at. Yes, I know it's improper grammar. My producer's over here waving at me. Don't use improper grammar. They know I know that it's not where it's at. And you're not supposed to end a sentence in a preposition. We'll just put it back in the dictionary. It'll all be good. I want to go to your calls, 888-589-8840. We are going to go first to Frank calling from Owensville, Kentucky. Welcome, Frank. What say you is the answer to all of these problems?
Hello, sister.
Hello.
Yes, I want to say sometimes when you tell people, which is a very good thing to do, to go to the website and sign it. But some people, I've told a lot of people about the lady. She's in a prison with her 2 kids. Mm-hmm. Sometimes people don't have a computer, and
go to a library.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about going to a library and borrowing their computer, Frank, is that the people in the library will even help you. And the other nice thing is that you'll be taking up a computer that someone can't use for porn. So it's good. It's good.
Yeah. Well, I've been praying about her, and I told some people about her. So we just keep on trusting the Lord that she'll be delivered from that situation.
Yeah, absolutely. Frank, thank you so much for your call. Going now to Dave from Hopewell, Virginia. He wants to talk about gun control. Do you have the answers for us today, Dave? I sure hope so.
Hello, am I on?
You're on.
Okay, Gina, thank you very much. Listen, I'm going to go in a little bit different direction here, if you'll bear with me. Every time there's one of these tragic multiple killings, here in the last several years, these killings have been punctuated. This spate of killings has been punctuated with the suicide of the shooter. I'm going to tell you what I believe. I believe that someone is programming these people some kind of a way. Don't tell me that's, well, you can tell me what you want to or cut me off. But I think it's possibly someone in government is doing this, trying to create a scenario where people will clamor for more, trying to cause people to clamor for more gun restrictions.
Well, I'm not sure it's that easy to actually program human beings, but what I can say is this, it does all tie together. If you look at this young man, the son of the director of a very successful movie, of course, Hunger Games is the director's movie. He was assistant director on that movie, if I'm speaking correctly. And he did have all the trappings of that Hollywood life. He probably wanted the fame. He may not have had the talent that his dad had to be a director. He may have tried to get into movies and failed. I don't know. But we do tell people that this fame is so important. You could tell he really did want the attention of pretty girls. That was one of the things he talked about in his despicable, disgusting, horrible, evil manifesto. So that being the case, this aspiring for something you can't have, rather than being satisfied and knowing God's provision is perfect for you in all scenarios, when we sell that bill of goods in our media, it's certainly a sort of programming, if you want to put it that way. That is certainly what he was aspiring for. And that's one of the reasons why I don't use his name. I don't put his face up on my shows that I do, and I don't put his picture in my articles that I write, because I don't want him to have any glory in any of this. I don't want the name of the killer. I don't want him famous, even post-mortem. I don't want him famous. And so I do think you're right that there might be a little bit of that going on, but I think we have to be careful when we use the word program, because otherwise everyone's going to look at us like we have little antennas coming out of our head. But I appreciate your call. I want to go to Rachel in Fort Hood, Texas. Rachel, what do you have to say about gun control today? Rachel, you're on.
Hello.
Hello, you're on, Rachel.
Hi, Gina. Thank you for taking my call.
Of course.
One thing I wanted to mention was the Marine over there. My oldest son was a Marine for 10 years, and I can't even imagine this happening to him.
Yeah.
And
Did you hear the interview with the mother?
I'm sorry, what?
Did you hear my interview with his mother today?
yes, I did, and it just brought
Heart-wrenching.
tears to my eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
But
Bless your heart. I'm sorry.
thank you for taking my call. Just hang in there.
Oh, thanks, Rachel. Thank you for letting your son serve our country, and we will hang in there. We will absolutely hang in there. More signatures have been added. Thank you so much, listeners. We are trying to pump up the numbers on this petition. You go to drginashow.com. It isn't enough to just sign the petition. Share it on your social media. Make others sit down at your computer and sign it too. Free Our Marine is the hashtag on Facebook and Twitter. We need 25,000 signatures in the next 2 days. It's really important. You heard that mother, Jill Tamarisi, her impassioned plea to help get her son out of that Mexican prison. I'm imploring you to please go to the drginashow.com, or also you can find it on my Facebook or Twitter as well, and sign that petition. I want to go now to Sean in Will Point, Texas. Sean.
Yes,
Sean,
ma'am.
welcome to the show. Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. The most recent act of gun violence we had in California, I believe half the people that this individual killed was with knives. Am I?
Right. You are right.
Is, where is the outcry for more knife control?
Yeah. Yeah. And if it's not knives, Sean, it'll be bats. And if not, it's not bats, it'll be clubs. And if it's not clubs, it'll be shoes. Have you seen the shoes women wear today? You could kill someone with those. I'm telling you, we can't fix it by taking away the weapons. We have to arm good people and train them well to fight in these situations for our lives. We're going to have more of your calls coming back in a moment. 888-589-8840, 888-589-8840. I'm Dr. Gina Loudon, filling in on Focal Point. You can go to drginashow.com and fill out the petition to free Sergeant Tamarisi from the Mexican prison. We want more of your calls in just a moment. You stay with us. More Focal Point coming up right after this.